Hello, 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 hello. This is Rich Kale here on YouTube, Rich Gen X elsewhere. And it is time to continue our playthrough of Syberia 1. Well, this first one, yeah. So, we gotta continue on our mission. Yeah, thank you, game. Let's see. So, where did we last leave off? That's right. Right here. So, I think this is the last place we left off. We have entered a new area, I think, in our playthrough. Oh, I'm looking at the wrong damn thing, too. So we have, let's see. I have to try and figure out where I'm at now. So we got the train, we've headed out. Okay, and let me just see. Was there anything else I need to talk to you about?
Everything okay, Oscar?
Yes, Kate Walker. I am awaiting your instructions.
This train might be a wonder of technology, but the engine's limited autonomy is a liability. You got to admit that.
I am afraid I refuse to entertain this consideration, Kate Walker.
Okay.
Oscar, we have a serious problem. How can we carry on our journey if this train doesn't want to budge? What are our options?
Every clock has its key, Kate Walker. Keep looking.
Well, I hope you're right. I'm gonna go see what I can find.
Alright, so...
Oscar, see you later, alligator.
In a while, Kate Walker.
So we have to now... Well... Definitely a new place. Very beautiful. Wait. No. Back left, okay. So let me see. So we gotta find a winder. A bird. Okay, I don't see anything here. Wonder if it was on the other side. That's entirely possible. I went off the wrong side. What if we go over? Okay. There's somebody, but I don't know. Fuck! Ugh. I went all, I clicked off the screen. My bad. There we go. Frickin' hell, that was a mess. Okay, so here we are again, back at this point. Alright, let's go back here. Alright, so we go right. Alright. This is the second right. No, that... What if we go this way? I gotta find the winder. What's this way? No. Is this it?
I can't go that way.
Okay. This place looks overrun. What about these blades here? Okay. I'm a little lost here. Up here, maybe? We have to find a winder. What's this? The following number. 27666742. Okay. Okay.
No point. It's locked.
Great. There's something I'm missing here.
No point. It's locked.
So let's see. Did that. Oh. Left. When walkthroughs don't have a sense of direction.
That thing looks like the winding machine I used in the Valladolid station. I've got to find a way of getting the train up here.
Ah, so we found it now. Yeah, these things need to have a better method of keeping track of them. Now we know where we gotta go. Hallelujah. So we'll have to tell Oscar.
Kate Walker! Kate Walker! Come over here, please! I have something to say to you!
Okay. And he goes back in. All right, Oscar, I'm coming to talk to you.
Yes, Oscar, what is it?
Yeah.
A message has arrived for you.
A message?
You have been summoned to see the rectors. They are the highest authority at the university. They want to talk to you.
Talk to me?
Yes, to the person responsible for the train.
So, I'm in charge now, sure, okay. But why would these gentlemen want to see me at all?
They do not say why, just that it's very important.
Okay.
Everything okay, Oscar?
Yes, Kate Walker. I am awaiting your instructions.
There's a winding machine further on down there. But we're going to have to shift the train 50 yards.
Impossible, Kate Walker. Train Engineer's Instruction Manual, Chapter 3, Article 2. Once the springs are slack, the train cannot move.
The train cannot move by itself, Oscar. Only by itself. You should take a look around the station, Oscar. It's amazing. Greenhouses that are all lit up, exotic trees, and thousands of birds of all different colors.
I am obliged to avoid exposing my wheelwork to corrosive bird excreta. I shall remain inside to monitor the locomotive.
Of course. Well, too bad for you.
He's got a point.
Oscar, see you later, alligator.
In a while, Kate Walker.
Honestly, every time she says that, I want him to say, after a while, crocodile. All right. With that water down there, it makes me think that there is, maybe a boat service. Wow. Kind of reminiscent of big universities. Just weird that it's so quiet. Okay. There's somebody here. No, I...
Hello.
Hey, you sure looking eyes.
Just who do you think you are?
Hey, spunky. I like that in a lady. Okay, I'm hooked. Come on, Zol. I'll let you buy me that coffee.
I don't remember ever asking.
Hey, don't play hard to get. I know you like it big time.
Listen, kid. Go back home and play with your toy cars and forget you ever saw me.
Well, that was pointless. Sound almost like a kid, a college kid. Weird. Wow. Yeah. Kind of amazing to see stuff like this. Well, never understood why doors have to be so huge. Okay.
Good day to you, gentlemen.
Tell me, young lady, to what do we owe this pleasure?
Please do be brief. We do not have very much time on our hands.
As rectors of this university, we have serious matters to attend to, and our time is precious.
I have heard you wish to meet the owner of the train that is currently in your station. May I know the reason for your summons?
We are surprised that your train has not yet left, miss. The situation is most regrettable.
The rules do clearly state that trains are meant to come and go and not remain stationary at a platform.
Trains should first stop, then subsequently leave. That is the rule.
We agree then, dear colleagues, that what we're dealing with is deviant behavior.
This matter really is cause for concern.
It's a clockwork train, you see? So it needs winding up again. Unfortunately, there is no equipment in the station to do this.
A clockwork train? That's strange.
How very quaint. You mean it's some sort of mechanical toy?
You are causing a hindrance to us, miss.
I am very hopeful that I will find what I need along the wall.
The
wall? Miss, that really is not a suitable place for you to go.
Especially for a young lady.
You see, miss, we freely admit that every day we praise the existence of that particular edifice. We owe the integrity of our dear university and the fine education it provides to the wall.
It protects us from harm and invasion from the unknown.
May God protect us from what is beyond those ramparts, miss. Please believe me.
I don't have any choice. I must continue my journey.
Such a decision is a correct one since it's in line with regulations.
Thus, your train will indeed be able to leave.
And consequently cease to obstruct our station.
Alright, well, let's go through these topics then.
I haven't introduced myself. My name is Kate Walker.
Walker, haven't we already had a Miss Walker? Ethnology Masters, September 1953, if my memory serves me correctly.
Perfectly well, my dear colleague. But if I may be so bold, it was a Mr. Walker and not a Miss. It was Bill Walker, sat this June 68 exams. The impudent fool turned up for the oral assessment in jeans, flouting strict internal regulations which explicitly state the required uniform for the occasion.
Oh boy.
Pure incitement. It was scandalous. Sadly, we have seen worse since. Young people lack all respect of traditional values.
Tradition, young lady. One must always uphold tradition.
Okay.
Can you possibly help me out here?
Miss, your insistence is almost verging on indecency.
We cannot constantly be at your disposal. We have many other requests to attend to.
If you don't mind, could you not disturb us all the time? Thank you.
You're assholes.
Does the name Hans Vorarlberg mean anything to you by chance?
Ah, one of the brightest, most idealistic intellects to have graced our university. Hans Vorarlberg. I remember speaking to him once. I was still a student at the time. He just stared at me, lost in thought for a while. He scarcely ever said a word. But how can one forget him?
Idealistic? I'll grant you that. But bright? Oh, don't go too far. He was completely incapable of passing any exams. All he ever did was to sit in on lessons, and not many of them either. Paleontology, mainly. He had an unhealthy passion for mammoths, which matched the state of his intellect perfectly. That is to say, prehistoric.
Prehistoric? How dare you? A little far-fetched, maybe. But he did have flashes of intellectual brilliance, comprehensible only to high-minded scholars who hold no score by appearances. My dear colleague, your hasty conclusions are somewhat cavalier.
My assessment is wholly accurate. The boy was a little odd. You must concur if my father, who was rector of the university at the time, had not shown great indulgence towards him. Hans Vorarlberg would have never attended this establishment.
What about the bandstand, then? Is that the work of a deranged mind? Even after all these years, you are still jealous of it.
Interesting.
My dear colleagues, I beseech you, let's show some decorum. We have a visitor. What do you want with Hans Vorarlberg, miss? Are you a member of his family?
No, not at all. I'm looking for him to clear up an inheritance matter. Is he still here?
What? Here? At the university? No, not at all. He left a long time ago. Yes, a very long time ago. The very year I was nominated to this position, in fact. Almost 50 years ago already.
The poor soul moved on once he learned all he needed to know about mammoths.
Ah, this establishment was never quite the same after his departure, it must be said.
You mean to say it was never as bad? All that oddball brought to this university was his misplaced fantasies.
Gentlemen, let's try to retain the calm and level-headedness that befits our position.
Okay.
Excuse me.
Miss, we find ourselves terribly put out by the presence of your train in our station and by its recurrent immobility.
Indeed, the situation is very regrettable. Your huge locomotive is very cumbersome.
A train should first stop, then subsequently leave. That is the rule.
Okay.
That idea of the station aviary is really very original.
It's the pride of our university. One of the specialties taught here is zoology, you see, and more particularly, ornithology. Proper study and instruction should not be limited to books. Observation of living matter is indissociable from theoretical questions.
It contains some very rare specimens that have been brought back from faraway, exotic countries, especially for our university, by the world's most intrepid explorers.
Do you remember Alexander Valenbois and his peculiar bird?
Absolutely. His gift produced some very embarrassing long-term consequences.
A poison chalice, indeed. It must be said, the situation could have been much worse, however.
Oh, yes, it could have been terribly problematic.
Okay. Well, let's,
You see, I didn't actually intend to stop here, but the springs of my train gave up, you see?
No, not really. You mean to say you're not a student?
You have arrived a little late in the term, miss. Enrollment for this year has already terminated.
But as rectors of this university, and therefore representatives of its highest authority, we could bend the rules a little, if you like.
You don't understand. I'm a lawyer from New York, or rather Valladolid more precisely. My client wants to buy out an old mechanical toy factory, but its heir isn't actually dead and is living somewhere in Syberia. I've got to get to him to sign the sales contract. You see?
Not really. This is a most peculiar tale.
yes.
A kerfuffle of the highest order.
Yes.
We have an excellent law school, if you should ever change your mind.
Okay.
Here we are, busy chatting, and look at the clock. It's tea time.
Already? My word, doesn't time fly by?
Thank you for a charming visit, miss.
And thank you, gentlemen.
Well, I don't know how helpful they were, but... Great. Well, that was somewhat pointless. Or maybe it wasn't. It was enlightening. All right.
Excuse me. Sir, please, just a moment.
Yes, what is it? I'm not deaf, you know.
I am sorry to disturb you in your work, sir, but
This young Mammothus primigenius is barely 40,000 years old. Fantastic, wouldn't you say, miss?
yes. Probably.
Yeah.
What do you mean, probably?
I don't know.
You don't know? Oh, you don't know, I see. What can I do for you, my dear child?
All right, so let's ask about,
To tell you the truth, I'm looking for Mr. Hans Vorarlberg. He's the sole heir of a very unusual factory. My company is in charge of negotiations for the takeover of this factory. At last word, he was living in Syberia. So, as soon as my train is ready, I'll be continuing my journey eastwards.
Syberia. Ah, Syberia. But what was it you said again?
Said what?
You mentioned a name. The person you are looking for.
Vorarlberg. Hans Vorarlberg. Do you know him?
Hans Vorarlberg. How could I forget him? Such an extraordinary fellow. So inventive. We shared a passion for mammoths, you know, and we bonded over this passion. Without it, I confess, I would have had little to do with an odd, ageless retard like Hans. At the time, we were both students. Well, sort of. Put it this way. Hans had special permission to attend paleontology lectures. You see, he didn't really have the necessary qualifications. In exchange, Hans did a few odd jobs around the university.
Your Hans Vorarlberg sounds uncannily like the one I'm looking for.
I'm not sure, my dear. Hans was above all questions of money and business. Just to imagine him running a factory, perish the thought.
Can you tell me a little bit more about him?
He was always a mystery to me. He never said very much, and never quite seemed to grasp what you said to him. He expressed himself instead through his incredible mechanical contraptions. His inventions, I admit, have been much appreciated by the university. The few times we really did talk, it was about his strange interest for mammoths and a doll. Some sort of doll that obsessed him.
A doll, you say?
Yes, he kept talking about it. One day he described it to me. A sort of children's toy. A miniature mammoth mounted by a mount. It appears he found it in a cave not far from his home. The event all sounds very dramatic. His account was slightly confused, but it awoke a great interest in me.
What do you mean?
To my knowledge, there is only one tribe who made figurines featuring a mouth, and that tribe is the Yukols. They live in the farthest reaches of Syberia, and for them, the dolls constituted a sacred object, illustrating one of their central legends. How such a doll made the journey from the frozen Siberian north to a cave in the French Alps is a mystery to me. Even today, it is beyond my comprehension.
interesting.
Have you considered that Hans Vorarlberg was maybe making it up? You said yourself he didn't seem to have all his mental facilities intact.
No, that's impossible. Hans couldn't invent a story like that. The doll is a sacred part of the Syberia legend. He described it to me in exact detail. Syberia itself is a chimera that paleontologists of the world are very fond of pursuing.
My train stopped in a peculiar aviary. It's very odd. A lot of bird species seem to seek harbor there.
Ornithology is far from being my favorite subject, but I must concede that the station is the pride of the university. It was initially intended for teaching purposes, but then birds started arriving from all around the world. It seems that there are still rare species breeding there and flourishing.
Are there? Can you give me an example?
I have been told about a kind of bird with peculiar habits. Let's see now, the Amazon cuckoo. That's right. But, oh, I'm so foolish. I can't remember what was so special about it. Just that its behavior is very peculiar.
The Amazon? Where's the Amazon? What is the Amazon?
I'm sorry, my dear, but one cannot learn everything in a lifetime. Specialization is the key to real knowledge. Now, why don't you pay a visit to our library?
Thank you very much.
I think I'll have to do that.
Please do excuse my persistence, Professor, but did Hans Vorarlberg ever talk about his childhood? About Valladolid and his sister, Anna?
No, not that I recall.
Pity.
When I think of Hans, I'm always reminded of a mysterious mammoth doll he would talk about so often. A small effigy of a mammoth made of hide and mounted with its own miniature maut. How come he was so lucky? Why have I not seen this?
All right.
I'll leave you in peace. I hope I haven't disturbed you too much.
Sorry? No, not at all, my dear child.
Well, that was very interesting. Somebody's calling.
Hello?
So, you got him then, this air?
Ah, it's you, Mr. Marson. Good day, and how are you, sir?
I'll feel a whole lot better when this whole business is over and the sales contract is signed. Where the hell are you?
I'm in Bergstadt.
What? What in God's name are you doing there?
It's a magnificent university town. It would appear Hans Vorarlberg once passed by here several years ago.
So if he isn't there anymore, then there's no point hanging around.
I hear what you're saying, sir, but I have good reason to believe that Hans Vorarlberg is still alive. For the time being, I'm trying to gather extra information from people who have known him.
What's your next destination?
I'm not exactly sure yet.
Doesn't sound like you know too much, Kate.
I just need a bit of time, Mr. Marson.
Yeah, well, time is what you ain't got. Keep me posted.
People can be so impatient. All right. Well, there's something over here. Well, what do you know? A barge in the canal.
Hey there! On the boat!
Guten Tag, schöne Mademoiselle.
My husband say, hello, young lady. You want to talk to us?
Okay.
I have a little problem with my train. It's kind of broken. I've absolutely got to get it out of the station. Do you think you could tow it over to the wall with your barge?
Lock closed. Barge blocked.
But if the locks were open, would it be okay to tow my train then?
Porke no? More money for that werk.
Da, it's possible. My husband say we help you if you give money.
Right. And how much do you want?
Cinquante.
He want $150.
$150? I don't have that much.
No money, no barge.
Let me offer you $75.
Nay, $125.
Out of the question. $100 and not a dime more.
Correct. You have barge for $100.
Great. Now, don't move. I'll be back as quick as possible with the money.
Oh.
I just met with the university rectors, and they ordered me to remove my train out of their station. I mean, it's a total joke. How do you remove a train that can't move in the first place? You don't have any ideas, do you?
We know nothing of train. You up your own creek.
Your generosity warms my heart.
All right, well, we did it.
I'll leave you to it. I won't disturb you again.
До свидания.
Okay, so now I gotta get $100. So let's... I took so long trying to find one thing, I'm just gonna give it a little extra time. Okay, time to talk to the rectors again. Minnie, Mo, and Curly. No. Minnie, Mo, and Jack. Mo, Larry, Curly. Hustle, Bump, and Boogie. Okay, chuckleheads.
Gentlemen, forgive me for disturbing you again, but I have a little problem.
A little problem, a little problem. Everyone has little problems now, you know.
Yes.
They are kept to oneself, and they don't stop the world from turning.
Nor trains from leaving stations.
Some sailors have agreed to tow the train, but I don't have enough money to pay them. I was wondering if you could help me out. For a while. I could work for the money.
Piss, yeah.
Please wait, miss. We have certain confibulations to attend to.
That is right. We must confibulate between ourselves. A collegiate decision must be taken.
I hope that we are not indisposing you in any way.
Why not?
If it helps us get rid of that train.
My word, that is a fine idea.
What do you have in mind, gentlemen?
When you arrived here, you must have noticed a splendid bandstand which honors the main university courtyard.
Yes.
A unique piece of mechanical craftsmanship which no longer works, alas.
Why, yes, we have very moving memories of its melodies. We're prepared to offer you a financial reward if you can set it working again.
With pleasure. What do I have to do?
Unfortunately, my dear, time and rust have taken their toll on this university, and our automatons no longer have a spring in their step. You are going to have to be resourceful.
To tell you the truth, there are a number of complex mechanisms here in Barakstadt, and it would appear that we have unfortunately lost their operating instructions.
Your train, however, is an extremely ingenious invention, so you should be no stranger to complex mechanisms, should you? We are therefore counting on your ingenuity, miss.
I hope that I can show myself worthy of your faith in me, gentlemen.
Well, my dear colleagues, one more university matter nicely tied up.
This shows that even high-esteemed people can lose the manual.
Here we are, busy chatting, and look at the clock. It's tea time.
Already? My word, doesn't time fly by?
Thank you for a charming visit, miss.
And thank you, gentlemen.
All right, so now we have a task. To get money, we need to fix the bandstand. So we're going to head out to the bandstand. Get an idea what it looks like. And so there is. See, is this the door? This looks like the door. Oh.
This thing's jammed.
But we need something. Looks like it needs a counterweight. Something egg-shaped. That's gonna be tricky. Alright, so I think this is going to be something we need to solve. Now we already looked at the control panel, and I know where to find our next bit of help. Down this way. Or... oh. Now I see. I gotta go back over the bridge. We're gonna go find the station master. I know exactly where they are because I saw them before. I just didn't talk to them. Because he was off this way. Now there's stuff here. What's this anyhow? Oh, it's a hook. And here's the station master. So we're going to talk with him and then we're going to call it an episode.
Hello.
You arrived by train, I see.
Yes, I've come from Valadilen.
It's been a long time since I've seen a train here. Students, did you bring students with you?
No, I traveled alone. Well, almost alone.
I remember around the start of fall, trains would bring kids from all around the world here to study zoology and botany, paleontology, and all that stuff. This was a great university.
And it isn't still great today, then?
Today?
Well, there's certain things we need to talk to him about. The important things. Let's see. The birds and the mission.
All these birds in a station. It's amazing.
This is no ordinary station, miss. Oh, no. These birds are part of the prestigious University of Baruchstadt Ornithological Collection. Over the years, this aviary has housed some of the most fantastic species from all over the world. And I am not exactly your typical station master either. This little world is my responsibility, and that is no easy task.
I can imagine.
I can well believe you.
And you know what's the hardest? The hardest thing is to keep interspecial harmony. And one day some explorer introduced a couple of cuckoos from the Amazon. Oh,
It wasn't a good idea?
a nightmare. You know, cuckoos lay their eggs in the nests of other species, right? Now, what's more, they also push the host's eggs out of the nest so that they receive all the mother's attention, right? Accursed cuckoos. Nightmare.
I see what you mean. That's one tricky bird. And there was nothing you could do to stop it?
The faculty declared the bird a protected species. If it wasn't for our mechanical eagle, we were sitting on a major ornithological catastrophe.
You have an automaton here?
A wonder of technology. It's an eagle that's mounted on rails in the air. It passes through and it swoops down to collect parasite eggs. But heck, the dang eagle's been out of order for several years. Impossible to collect the eggs myself.
Why not?
I can't climb up the gangway. I fell off it several months back and I still have a pain in my spine. Not to mention the vertigo I've been getting. I only have to look up in the air. Whoa.
You poor soul. That must be very hard.
Worst thing is, cuckoo eggs piling up in the nests. Soon the rectors are gonna notice. There's trouble in store, big trouble. I'm worried. Yep, worried.
I've just been to see the rectors, and they told me to get the train out of the station as quick as I can.
Yeah.
I thought they'd say that. Rules are rules, and you gotta stick by them. Not a good idea to get into trouble with the university administration.
Absolutely. I've got enough worries as it is. What should I do then?
Well, I suggest you move your train.
But it's like I say, the springs are unwound. Everyone seems to think it's my fault.
The locomotive's engine might not work, it's true, but maybe there's some other way of moving the train.
Yes, we know.
It's a possibility, I suppose. What were you thinking of exactly?
Nothing. It was just an idea. Anyway, miss, you shouldn't hang around here. I have a job to do. Yes, sirree.
Yep. All right. Well, now I did a lot of exploring before this.
I won't disturb you any longer, Mr. Station Master.
Welcome to Barrockstadt, miss.
So, what we're going to do, since I've already looked at some of these things, we're going to head back to the train to get something. Because we have stuff that will help answer and get us moving forward. Well, we have one item. So let's go in and get that. And then next time we're going to get the, talk to our, we're going to talk to the professor about this little toy here. Because it's going to help us. But until then, this is Rich Keel here on YouTube, Rich Gen X elsewhere. If you made it this far in the playthrough, please put in the comments, smart men are stupid. Because I especially describes our rectors there. And next time around, we are going to head over to the professor that was looking at the mammoth. We are going to we'll get things straightened out. But until then, this is always Rich Kale here on YouTube, a Rich Gen X elsewhere. I invite you to subscribe to the channel, check out all the videos, check out all the playthroughs I'm doing. Besides this, I have other videos that premiere at 3 p.m. Eastern in a 2-week cycle. I'm working my way through the Bioshock series, currently on Bioshock Infinite, working my way through the Assassin's Creed series, both for the channel and for the podcast games my mom found. For the channel, I'm working on Brotherhood. For the podcast, we are kind of already, I think by the time you see this, we will have recorded at least, I think for Freedom Cry. Yeah, Freedom Cry. Doing it as a mini, I believe, as I think it's been discussed. I don't know when it will premiere. But definitely before our episode for Rogue, which I've actually worked through both of those games for the podcast. I am working my way through the Broken Sword games. Right now I only have the first and second. Currently the first one I am working on, which is Shadow of the Templars. Working my way through Grim Fandango, working my way through Adrift. Do runs through the game of Monstrum, working my way through Aquaria and a bunch of others. I also have videos that premiere weekly at 10 a.m. Sunday mornings, it's Tomb Raider 1, 2, 3 remastered until I'm done with it. Monday mornings has nothing at the time I'm recording this. Tuesday mornings, fic readings. Wednesday mornings, one of the first 7 Final Fantasies, first 3 Final Fantasy Legends are Chrono Cross or Chrono Trigger. Thursdays are for Dead by Daylight. Fridays, fighting games, ladder or story mode. And Saturday, a retrospective for a game or series I've beaten the story mode on. So, until next time, I'd like you all to take care and have fun. Bye all.